We're going to talk about one of my favorite bands of all time, Soundgarden. Um, Goes back to my first shoot with Soundgarden was in 1989 for Spin Magazine, and I think that was my first encounter with the Seattle scene and what was going on at the time. I know that for me it was new because up until '89 I was shooting pop stars like George Michael and New Kids on the Block. So meeting Chris Cornell and the band, and then luckily got to go to the Whiskey to see them perform, it blew my mind. No lie, just blew my mind. They ended up filming that show, and you can see it on YouTube and everything, called Louder Than Live, I think it's called, because the album was Loud Love, and this video was called Louder Than Live. A great video, great performance, but it blew my mind. After that, I was obsessed with Soundgarden. I was obsessed with Seattle. I was obsessed with grunge. I was obsessed with Sub Pop records. I just dove head in at that point in 1989 and just went in head first to really enjoy the music and really expose myself to everything that was there. I ended up shooting Soundgarden for, I think the first time was for Reflex magazine. No, might have been Cream magazine. I shot them for. But then I slowly got to know them, and along with everybody else at the time, during this time, and a lot of the bands and things like that. But Soundgarden for me was special. And as we all know, and I've told the story a million times, that Chris Cornell wrote a song, the song, Jesus Christ Pose, about my photo of Perry Farrell in bed as Jesus Christ Pose. So that's extra special to me, that Chris would write a song about one of my photos. To this day, that's probably one of my most proudest moments of all, is that this genius artist, this band, one of my favorites, wrote a song about one of my photos. I mean, how cool is that? So one of my other favorite stories about Soundgarden was back in the Singles movie days, and I know that everybody knows about it now, but the Cliff Pontier tape that has been released since, he had this tape that he did the demos for Spoon Man and Seasons and all that stuff, and I was able to meet him and hear this tape through Eddie Vedder. I told Eddie I wanted a copy, and then I asked Chris, can I get a copy? And so that was really great, but in the end, they wouldn't give me a copy until the first day of directing my music video, Jeremy, for Pearl Jam. Eddie brought me a tape from Chris and said, Chris told me to give this to you. And it was the actual tape that Chris used to make these demos. So that was a big deal. I still have that tape to this day. Sits on my desk as a reminder. I also shot some rehearsal times with them, hung out with them in Seattle a bunch of times, shot wherever I could, when I could. My favorite part about shooting Soundgarden, honestly, was just that the guys were always nice to me and always good to me. And to kind of wrap this story up, my favorite moment was the last time I shot them. We were shooting at A&M Record Studio on La Brea, actually blocks from where I live. And Chris and the band were just not in the good mood to do a photo shoot. So Chris says to me, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I'm tired. Can you hurry up? And that's when I looked him right in the eyes and I said, Chris, you know what's more difficult than doing a photo shoot? And he said, what? And I said, being the photographer who has to shoot you. So you might want to think about me as well. And he laughed. And then I said, all right, so let's get this done and so we can all go home. And we did. And we wrapped it up real fast and I went home. So it was a good day.